Hey, back to basics. It's Dana, Ms. Dangerous, and I'm your vlogger for today. Yes, I'm doing this in the car. I'm sorry if it disturbs someone. I have a highway drive, so it's easy for me to do things in the car. Sometimes easier than doing along the way, so another way. This week is Mind Week, and we were asked to talk about kind of the before and after, what we thought it was going to be like post-op, and has it really turned out that way? So just to give you a little context, I had my vertical sleeve gastrectomy on June 12th, 2012. So I'm about 21 months out. And I am at what I consider a goal weight. And that goal weight is actually significantly less than I ever thought I could achieve. So I guess the first thing when I was thinking, what would life be when I was pre-op, what did I think life would be like post-op? Well, first of all, I had a good life. I was happy with my life. I had a happy marriage, healthy family with grown kids and grandkid, one grandkid, and now we have two. I had a good job. I have a few close friends, and I was happy in life. So except for my weight, and I had always been fat. Had always lived my life in an overweight or obese body from the time that I can remember. So that was my frame of reference. And I was relatively healthy, except for really the problem with my bones and my joints caused by carrying around, more than 100 pounds of excess weight for years and years and years. So I'd gotten to the point that my life was very painful for me to do walking or anything like that. So what did I think life would be like? Well, I thought that my pain would go away. Yay. I thought, and that's happened, I thought that I'd be able to shop in pretty much any store. My goal size was a size 14, because that was, the smallest I'd ever been as an adult, and you can shop pretty much any store and get to a 14. Most any store that I want to shop as a midlife woman. I knew that it was going to be work, so I thought and knew that it was going to be work, and that this was going to be something that I would have to live with, paying attention to what I ate and how I ate it and how I moved my body for the rest of my life, which is not really something that I had done in my prior life. Other than that, I don't know that I had big expectations or problem solving. So has all that happened? Yeah, it has happened, and what I will say is that some of the things I knew or I thought or I hoped for, it was like I got at this level of understanding is what I could envision before the surgery, and now I have this level of understanding. So let's just talk about the focus on what you eat, how you eat, and moving your body. Yeah, I knew I was going to have to pay attention to it like this, and during surgery maybe I paid attention to it like this, immediately post-op, and then for my losing phase, and I got down to maintenance phase, and I guess in my brain I thought or I hoped that somehow this would get easier. And what I realized is in many ways it's easier, and just as many ways it's not easier. So in many ways it's easier because the quantity of food that I eat is somewhat controlled, though I can push it. And you know, especially depending on what I choose to eat. The struggle of wanting to eat certain things, the struggle to get over, I will use the word maybe addictive kind of behaviors about eating has been much harder than I thought it would be. The struggle to give up sweets, or to control the quantity. You know, actually I said I picked the sleeve because I wanted to have balance where I could have a little something of anything. And what I've learned is that it's the little part that hurts. So, you know, I wanted to be able to have a piece of birthday cake on a special occasion. The problem is something in me wants more than a little. I still get into, like, I want to binge. I want to eat a big, you know, portion of desserts. Fess up time. So, you know, went to buy cake for my husband's birthday was this weekend. And in addition to the cake that I took to the family, I bought some other stuff from the bakery. I bought like a Neapolitan and a brownie. And I wanted to eat those. I bought them for me. And I did eat a big quantity of both of them. Hidden. Don't know necessarily why. What is it that I can't let that go? That's been a surprise to me. I thought when I made my stomach small that some of this other behavior would go away. Or after, you know, a year or more and a half of diligently, you know, practicing all the rules and you know, keeping portions small, I thought that you know, behavior maybe would get easier and go away. And I guess to some extent another surprise is that I recognize that these are dysfunctional behaviors in a way that I never did before. You know, when you're eating large quantities and you just are not paying attention to what you eat, I didn't really realize that I did practice some behaviors that were dysfunctional to the extent that I do. So that's, I guess, the first big kind of surprise. I thought that this was going to get easier, and it's not necessarily. Lifelong, I'm going to have to pay attention to, you know, focusing on the right things to eat and making good choices. As far as moving my body, it's easier now. Yes, it's easier, and there are certain things that I like. I will say I still don't love exercise. I don't like to sweat, and I don't know that that was a surprise, has been a surprise to me. Life was that way before. I'm learning to like for the first time, but not love, you know, that. The real surprise is, and I think I never really even thought about this. I mean, I guess I thought about it at some level where it was going to be like, I won't be the fat lady in the room. I won't walk into a restaurant and people look at me and make judgments about what I'm eating on my plate, or, you know, when I'm out shopping, you know, what are you doing in this store, or whatever. So I knew, and I, you know, expected and knew that would go away. Some of that that would go away, and that people would likely react to me differently, especially strangers. I expected that. I didn't really get or expect, and it's been a surprise to me that the way that strangers react to you is different, and the way that everyday people in your life react to you is different, and I think the way you react to them is different. So, of course, strangers react differently, and I'm still sometimes taken aback when I'm out shopping or something and the sales lady will say something about I'm tall and thin, or tall and slender, or I have long legs. Those jeans look great on you because you have such long legs. I am, you know, somewhat surprised by the attention, I guess, that I get. Not necessarily. I've had enough experience in the past with my up and down journey that, you know, people, I have a pretty outgoing and bubbly personality, but and I always have. Maybe even a little more so now, in the fact that I'm confident in my skin, but people just, I don't know, they engage with you differently. What I really didn't get was going to be that your interactions with the people in your life, the everyday people in your life that you know are different. And I think there's a lot of parts of that. One is, if you've related with people around food, going to dinner, having meals together, going to happy hour together, you know, parties that centered around food, you take that away or you decrease that, it changes things. So how you spend time together changes. My husband and I work off schedules, and so we never really had meals together during the week, but one of our big activities was going out to eat together on weekends, and we don't do that much anymore. I try to seek other things to fill that. I think also people just, you know, even my daughter, I think they were used to me behaving in one way, not wanting to do certain kinds of things. Now I want to do certain kinds of things, and they're taken aback by it. Like, let's go do an activity. Let's play a game. Let's, you know, let's dance around the room with the grandbabies. And I know my daughter's 25, and sometimes I have her, she looks at me, and she kind of gets a look, I think. And she's said, "Wow, Mom, great." You know, she's very proud of me. But then sometimes I think I still shock her a little bit by, this is a different person. This is a different person than the mother I knew in many ways. I don't know how I could have seen that stuff prior to my surgery. I mean, you know things are going to change. Again, it's kind of like this face value knowledge. And then when it really happens, it notches it up in a way that I don't know how you can predict that. I guess the other real thing, and it's said so much here, is that it's almost a cliche, is the mental journey. You changing the package on the outside, and by the nature of changing the package on the outside, the inside changes, or because of you need to change the inside, the outside changes. I don't know, it's the chicken and the egg. I find myself thinking a lot more about what I want and priorities, what's important to me. I find that some things that I used to find as attractive and fun, I don't really care about anymore. I have some new interests, or I'm trying to find new interests. I think I'm trying to find things to fill maybe what used to be in some of the food and old behaviors. That's all been a surprise to me. I never really predicted that would happen. So, you know, I think as much as you think that you know what this is going to be, you don't know until it happens. And I am pushing 15 minutes, which is my upload limit. I could probably ramble about this forever, but I'm going to stop, and other folks on this week are going to talk more. So I hope that you have a great day, and we'll see you later.